24 teams started the tournament, and as we speak, about 2 teams have actually taken their lead away from the tournament. And we'll be talking about what will be going down as for the games we'll be seeing today in the African Cup of Nations. Well, we'll be talking about the games we saw yesterday. The Nigerian national team, the Super Eagles, were defeated by the Adedotun, talking about Madagascar, in the tournament yesterday by 2-0 against all odds. And many among soccer-loving persons out there are saying Super Eagles are in this particular tournament to only actually show they are part of the African continent. And we'll be talking about what went down between the host nation, Egyptian national team, and the Ugandan national team. It ended in favor of the host nation. 2-0 was the scoreline. And among the games we saw yesterday, we saw a fantastic outing between Guinea and Burundi, and which actually gave the Guinean the opportunity to have a place in the round of 16. All of these are many more to come your way on today's edition of your favorite sports show that happens to be a window to what is going on out there in Egypt. Egypt is a nation where all African nations are focusing on as we speak. We'll be talking about extensively the games, reactions of players, reactions of ex-internationals, and reactions of my colleagues in the studio to what happened to the Nigerian national team. Adedotun is the name, and it is your one-stop show that happens to be a window, like I said the other time, to what is going on over there in Egypt. It is Afcon 2019 football show, and with me in the studio, I have to my far left, I have Femi Michael. Femi, good afternoon, and how are you doing?
Good afternoon. It's nice being here again. I'm fine, and just a little bit disappointed by the Nigerian team, but still, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, Tayo Olorunshola, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Well, actually, let's talk about what we saw yesterday briefly before we actually delve into the show proper. Let's look at what happened between the Nigerian national team and the Madagascar national team. Against all expectation, it went in favor of Madagascar.
Well, for me, it was a disappointing match because looking at the rating of Madagascar in African football and Nigeria being the giant of Africa, it's quite disappointing. Although I didn't see the match, but by the time I checked the live score, I thought I was dreaming when I saw 2-0. I thought it was a dream that they actually made mistake until in the night when I was watching the highlights. It was quite disappointing, but the good one is we've qualified, and I feel the boys should be able to learn from their mistakes, because to me, whether we qualified or not, I didn't see any reason why we cannot pick all the 9 points. So it was not an excuse that we have already qualified, but it's a good one that we have qualified at the end of the day.
It is a good one that the Nigerian Super Eagles have qualified for the next round before losing their last game against the Madagascar national team. How about to you, Femi? Let's talk about this. How did you feel about the game, your reaction at large?
For me, when I saw the first goal, I was like, it's an easy goal. Moreover, Leon Balogun, for me, he acted like a rookie in the heart of defending. And for me, the Nigerian national team, we are talking about the giants of Africa. We are talking about a football-loving nation. Madagascar just debuting in Afcon. They shouldn't, for no reason, beat Nigeria. And I'm surprised by the comments of the coach. But for me, I just feel Nigeria should always do better. Be it they are playing Madagascar, be it playing Burundi, be it playing Argentina or anything, they should always play better. For me, the team, they need to gel. They can do way better because they are going to the knockout phase, and I expect them to do better. My money, though, isn't on Nigeria, but still, I'm happy because as a footballing nation, we are through to the knockout stages, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Of course, Nigerian national team qualifying for the group stage, or qualifying out of the group stage of the ongoing African Cup of Nations 2019 edition that happens to be the 32nd edition. And for Nigeria, if they take this particular one, it will be the 4th time they've actually laid their hands on the golden diadem of African football. Unless they actually talk about the turnout of fans at the ongoing African Cup of Nations, we've not seen massive fans actually turn up for games except for the host nation games and the North African nations that actually have enjoyed massive fun out by the fans. Let's talk about these guys before we actually move on. The fans are really not coming to the stadium. What do you think is the cause of this style?
Well, for me, well, a lot of reasons could have actually contributed to it. But if you look at the Egyptian matches, like the one of yesterday,
it was full to capacity.
It was full to capacity. So I feel the fans, they are giving more support to the host fans and to the North African nation.
Of course.
And this might turn out to haunt the West African nation because, like Femi said, we are now in the round of 16. We might just be very lucky getting into the semi-final. By the time we are getting close to the final, you know the African nation, the North African team.
Yeah, the antics and everything they normally play.
It's a good one so far, and I'm hoping the cup will be coming to West Africa at the end of the day.
Okay, like I said, he's hoping that the cup will be coming to West African nation at the end of the tournament. But I want to come to you, Femi. If you take a vivid look at it, what we've seen so far, the North African nations, I'm giving you two questions, are in one. The North African nations against the West African nations, they've been the one taking the shine so far in the tournament. Like against our Senegalese, they were defeated by North African counterparts, and against all expectation, the favorites to win the tournament eventually lost. And let's take a look at it. In the history of the African Cup of Nations, Egypt has actually won the African Cup of Nations 3 times, being the host nation.
Yes, one.
But the question is, will they repeat the same height?
History is made history. Records are made to be broken. In 4 different times, whereas Egypt has hosted the Nations Cup, they've won it thrice, like you pointed out. And for me, this year also, they are also liable to win it because one, Egypt is a footballing nation. Of course, they are blessed with fantastic footballers, and the North Africans, if you look at it, every team from North Africa, they are strong, they are fast, they have tenacity, they are playing as a team. They are technically they are up there. So for me, I'm not surprised by their style of play. I'm not surprised by how well they are doing. It was, for me, they've been doing so fine. It's not a sudden trend. For over 16 years now, the North Americans, they've been building a system.
North Africans,
yeah, they've been building a style of play. They've been building a pattern of play. They've been investing in their footballing background. So for me, he gave the Afcon Cup to the West Africans, but for me, though I'm a Nigerian, well,
you are giving it to the North Africans.
Yes, I am. One, Egypt, being the host nation, they have that edge over every other thing, and the home support.
Okay, this is a fantastic discussion in the studio going on now, coming from the 2 analysts I have with me. After the Femi went for the North Africans to lay their hands on the Golden Garden, talking about the African Cup of Nations trophy, and Tayo Olorushola said that his heart is going for the West African countries. And to you out there, we want to actually take your reaction concerning the game we saw yesterday between the Nigerian national team and the Madagascar national team. It ended in favor of Madagascar, 2-0. And some will say that it was not a loss, it was a total victory for the Madagascar. Let's take a look at what happened between the Cameroonian national team and the Ghanaian national team in their game, which actually ended in installments. Then after that, we come back to do justice to all of the games we saw yesterday.